1051.
Alright, it's Power 1051, home of the Breakfast Club, Andrew Martinez, and that hip-hop and R&B, Shemaine Man, EmEz. This is the Sunday Sit Down. We're back at it again, and I have a very dangerous individual sitting across from me this afternoon, coming straight from my home state of Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Jimmie Rivera, El Terror, huh? What's up, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm alright, I can't complain. I mean, you kind of squeezed my hand a little hard when we shook hands before. I didn't know if you got that on camera.
Yeah, it's that retard shit. I don't even know. My bad, I'm sorry.
How you been, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the show. How you doing?
I appreciate you for coming by. Last I saw you, you were winning UFC matches.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's going great. I'm 3-0 in the UFC, and haven't even been with the UFC for a year now. I'm ranked number 11 in the bantamweight division.
Now, recently New York City lifted the ban of MMA fights at the Garden. How does that affect your career?
It's unbelievable. It affects my career. I actually have a school right here in the city in Midtown.
Where?
It's, East 23rd Street, right next to the Flatiron Building.
What's it called?
It's a Tiger Schulman school.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, you've been with Tiger Schulman for quite some time now.
Yeah, I own one of the franchises, and it's just unbelievable. It's like in my backyard. I mean, Jersey's my home, and New York's my second home.
Mm-hmm.
This is unbelievable that it's been passed, and looking forward to it. It's going to bring a lot of income to New York City.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, my cousin, I always talk to my cousin about this because he's a big fight junkie. Explain to me how you get the collar of the ear. What is that called again?
Cauliflower ear?
Cauliflower ear. How does that happen?
It's literally friction rubbing against your ear a lot, and then eventually fills up with blood, and eventually it hardens.
Yo, I forget what fight who I was watching. It bursted. Like
Kimbo Slice.
Oh my God!
It was a Kimbo Slice. He fought someone, and he hit the guy, and it just blew up. That was next.
Now, what made you get into MMA?
I've been training since I was a kid. I was training at 8 years old with Tiger Schulman's, and I went in there just, I was getting bullied when I was a kid, and kind of, my mom wanted me to have some more discipline in my life, and from there I took it from there. I just went in. I remember walking in there, the sensei, the instructor who was going to teach me was walking out, and I'm like, holy shit, this is just like Karate Kid. Because he was walking out, and he was Filipino, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to get this like Karate Kid, I'm going to be able to do all this stuff. I was super excited. I took my first class, and after that, fell in love with it and just kept training one day after another. Okay, so now you said you used to get bullied. Do you remember the first person that stepped to you after you got the knowledge of this MMA that you put out and was like, yeah, this is going to be me now? Of course. So, do you remember his name and what he did and all? Give me that story. Go ahead. How'd that go? I'm not going to mention his name, but I remember it was either 4th or 5th grade. And he was always picking on
my
me.
man Jimmy was putting kids out in the 4th grade. It's dangerous. Go ahead.
I tell my students all this because I teach my kids, they have to protect themselves. If someone's verbally, trying to attack them, use your words, and someone's trying to hurt them, you got to use what I teach you to defend yourself. And I remember he just, pushed me up against the chalkboard. I turned around, I pushed him. I got in my stance. I threw a front kick to his ribs. He dropped down and started crying. And then I started crying. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. Long story short, I always tell the kids this is funny because at the end of the day, he was a bully. He was one of the bullies in school. So he got 5 lunch detentions. I got 1, and that was it. The kid wanted to be my best friend after that. Never bothered me again.
Now, how often do you get that story from kids you deal with nowadays?
I get it a lot of times. You know what it was is that I never told my mom. I really wanted to do the martial arts. I never told my mom though that I was getting bullied because bullying really goes unreported.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about how much you're getting bullied.
Yeah, kids don't want to tell their parents, and they don't want to mention anything. It's hard until it gets really bad, and that's when the parents see and the kid's not acting right. And I explain to kids. I had it the other day. This kid that came in, tried out class, he was being bullied, and I really sat down for a good 10 minutes and went over my class a little bit just to really emphasize because no kid should be bullied. Yeah. Kids should be able to go to school and just to learn, not have to deal with that stuff. But you also got teachers who are saying, you shouldn't fight, this and that. Just tell the teacher about everything. I'm like, some kid hits you, you tell the teacher. When the teacher's not looking, the kid's still gonna hit you. You have to defend yourself. You have to know what to do. And a lot of times parents say, go defend yourself, go, protect yourself. But if you don't give them the tools, then that kid's not gonna be able to do it. So I give the kid the tools to be able to defend himself.
Gotcha. So Sunday Sit Down, I got Jimmie Rivera, UFC fighter, in the building. Talk to me about some of your inspirations in UFC or in fighting in general.
Fighting in general is just I mean, inspirations, George St. Pierre. I mean, I know he's retired now, but he was just an unbelievable. He came up in the martial arts just like I did, and I know he wasn't like a Conor McGregor trash talker. He was very humble and very humble and kind of quiet. But he went in there and he defended his belt, and he was unbelievable. I think his record was like 20 something, and he had 2 losses in his whole career, and just an unbelievable athlete. And I really looked up to him because he just put the hard work in, and it took him so far. So now, okay, here's another very interesting situation when I watch UFC fighters. There's a lot of respect between the fighters after the matches. Now, I mean, I don't know how much I want to be your friend and be respectful after we just spent 3 rounds beating each other up, but how does that work? How come there's so much respect in the MMA and UFC field between fighters, at least? I mean, the respect is definitely after the fight. Yeah. I mean, I think at least me growing up and being in fights and seeing fights, you always see the 2 guys go at it, and afterwards it's just like everything's done. Like all that hostile, that heat they had for each other is kind of just drifted away because they got it all out. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. Fights, you go in there and you fight, and if you get your ass whooped, then it's like, all right, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But then you whoop that ass, it's completely different. You're like, all right, now you got to really respect me now, and that's what really happens. I think in those fights, at least my opinion.
So Jimmie Rivera's in the building. 18-0. I'm seeing on this paper here. 18 in a row you've won.
Yeah, I'm actually, my record in full is 19-1, but at bantamweight I'm 18-0.
Oh, okay.
My first 2 fights were in that bantamweight because I'm Puerto Rican and Italian, so I like my chicken parm and rice and beans.
Nice. You eat well. You eat well.
Really well.
Okay. All right. Now explain to me the difference between weights, like the bantam and the featherweights. Like, what's the difference between all the weights?
The only difference between the weight
classes.
The weight classes, just like boxing, is just you weigh in the day before. So basically what happens is you weigh in the day before, and then the next day you go and fight. It's the same thing. They have the different weight classes just like boxing. Except boxing has a lot more weight classes than fighting does. Fighting basically goes almost every 10 pounds. It starts at 125, and then when it starts getting higher up, it's like 55, 70, 85, so it jumps up a little bigger. And the heaviest is 265. So those guys cut it down to make 265.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So you mean to tell me I can't? Will there ever be a Conor McGregor Jimmie Rivera face-off?
No, I don't.
Different weight classes.
Different weight classes.
Okay.
He's at 45 and 55, and I'm pretty sure that he's leaving 45 and he's going to start staying at 55 and 70 because the cut was hard for him.
And where are you at?
135.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not jumping up?
No, I'm not jumping up. I'm 5'4", man. I can't jump up. Those guys are tall. Real tall.
Jimmie Rivera's in the building. It's your main man, EmEz. It's the Sunday Sit Down. Talk to me about Tiger Schulman's. And the work you do for them, and you said you own a part of their franchise.
Yeah, I have a school right on East 23rd Street between Madison and Park Ave, and basically the work I do is I teach kids from 4 and up. So my oldest student is 66, and she's a black belt. And
66?
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I've got to go take a class. We gonna. You know what?
You guys should all come.
I just got an idea. Because I'm a little scrawny myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big buff guy, and I think we're gonna do a part 2 to this. I'm gonna come to your gym. Show me some moves, but don't hurt me. I'm frail.
I'm hurt you.
Don't hurt me.
Listen, we had Reverend Ron. I worked in Ramsey before I went to the city, and we had Reverend Ron and his little guy Russell come in and train, and they were unbelievable. I used to teach Aoki and Meek Lee Simmons, and I had Russell Simmons in by me. And listen, the kids come in, and the kid came in, he took class, and afterwards he just fell in love with it. Reverend Ron's son. He just kept training after that, and the kid's really, really good.
So part 2 of this interview will be me at the Tiger Schulman's with Jimmie Rivera. Hopefully he doesn't hurt me too bad.
As long as you don't hurt me, man. Come on.
Me? You see how scrawny these arms are? Yeah. Don't make me take my shirt off. Don't do that. It's the Sunday Sit Down with your main man, EmEz. After the fights, how much recovery time does it take to get back regular?
It depends on how brutal the fight was. You know what I mean?
You just recently had a fight a couple months ago.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get back?
I was back training the following week. I was in the gym already training again. It doesn't take me long. I go a little light in the beginning just to let everything heal because you're literally punching the other guy, kicking the other guy, so you leave some bruises. But I guess you could say I'm a gym rat. I can't be without the gym. I have to be in there training all the time. to be successful and to be where I'm at right now. I mean, it hasn't even been a year I've been signed with UFC. I'm already ranked 11. I already did 3 fights in the UFC. So, my whole thing is hard work and dedication is going to prevail, and you're going to see the success you want.
Do you know who you're fighting next? Have you thought about that?
I'm just waiting. I'm hoping to fight in June or July. If they give me something, I just texted Sean Shelby, who's the matchmaker for the UFC, and when MSG got booked, they actually had printed up an article of 10 fighters that should be fighting.
And you were on that. I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully November, MSG would be. I mean, last time we were there, we brought like over 1,000 people.
I just got a
Golden Glove. So
I just got another crazy idea. You see how Justin Bieber walks out with Floyd? I need to walk out with my man Jimmie, man. What's up? How can we do that? I want to walk out with you, fam. Can we do that?
Yeah, I'll figure something out. We do. I just gotta talk to UFC, and that's it.
Boom. There it goes. What's what we doing? Jimmie Rivera, El Terror. Now, your uncle gave you that name. How'd that come about? And how close are you with your uncle that gave you that name as well?
He's basically like my father. Gotcha. You know what I mean? And he's really close. He's always there for me, helping me cut weight, and he's always the guy on stage walking me to the weigh-ins and the weight cut. That's his. Uncle,
I'm coming through, man. I'm gonna need a little elbow room. I'm gonna be next to you and Jimmie. Uncle, I'm coming. Be there at the Garden.
And he's super close to me, and he's there every step of the way, and we talk, we sit down, just like my coach. Him and I will sit down, we'll watch fights, and he's always loved fighting, and when I started doing it, and he was like, wow, and he was like really supportive of it.
Now, okay, next question. What do you do to prepare for fights? Besides for training, like, give me more of the regimen of what a day of Jimmie's preparation goes down for a fight.
A day is literally waking up around 9 o'clock, get breakfast, train from 10 to 12:30 for about 2.5 hours, eat lunch, head to my school, teach from 4 to 10, and throughout that time I'll take off one class, have a manager who's an instructor as well teach, and I'll do another workout. Mm-hmm. And then I'll probably get home by, classes are done by 10, get home anywhere between 11:30, 12 o'clock, go to bed and do it all over again.
Man, I have a lot of respect for fighters because that's not, you're volunteering to go get punched in the face. You got to be a different type of person to do that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's it's a mentality game. It's really a mentality game, and you'll see people go in there who are unbelievable fighters, but they mentally just break or they get hit and they get scared and they kind of flee away and try to get out of the fight as fast as they can. It's a mental thing. You have to have the mental aspect and the hard work and the discipline to do it. If not, you're not going to get far in the game.
Now, what are your plans for after fighting? Have you thought about it?
I got my school. I own my school, and that's going unbelievable. I have great students, and they really understand when I have a fight. I have to take a little time back from being in the school and really focus on myself. But having my school, I mean, a lot of fighters don't have stuff to go back to after they're done fighting. Me, I got my school. I mean, I was always first passion teaching, my second passion fighting. So I've been working at Schulman since I was 13. I've been with them for 15, 16 years working now. And besides training, and I love it. I love teaching. I love teaching kids and adults, and it's a great feeling.
Wow. I enjoyed this one, man. Jimmie Rivera, it's a Sunday sit down. Make sure you stay tuned because part 2 will be with me and Jimmie in his gym. I'm kind of nervous. I should have kept my mouth shut, right?
No, you got to come now. You already said
yeah, I mean, I'm a man of my word if I said I got to go, but now I'm starting to think about it. I'm volunteering for this guy to come kick my ass. That's basically what this is going to be.
It won't be that bad. I swear to God, it won't be that bad.
Jimmie, thank you for coming by. I really, really appreciate it. And I want to stay in contact with you. I want to, like I said, I want to come up to the gym and do a little workout and absolutely be with you at the Garden, man, if we can make that happen.
For sure. It sounds good. I appreciate you letting me be on the show, too, and interview me.
Absolutely. Jimmie Rivera, El Terror! It's the Sunday Sit Down, Jermaine, man, EmEz. Thank you again, man.
Another example of how easy does it. Why not take a...
Power 105.1.